Solving counter-surfing. If you're unfamiliar with the term counter-surfing, it's what my puppy's doing in this video. He's jumping up and he's eating food off the table. I have not yet trained him to leave food on the table. So as a first step, I'm going to teach him a default leave it from food on a plate. What I am doing is letting him choose on his own to turn away from the food, and that decision is what I'm going to click. So he can pull all he wants, but he's not going to get the food. The only thing that earns food is when he turns away from the food. Try this exercise with different types of food on the plate. Now that we're having success with that, I'm going to add the table into the picture. Because my puppy is still on leash, I can prevent him from lunging and grabbing a treat if he wants to get it. Now the concept is to never get food on the table, so adding a cue like leave it is a really bad idea because the dog might think that if you're not in the room and you're not saying the word leave it when they look at the food, then they can eat the food. However, down the line, after you've already done this training and you're sitting in the living room and your dog starts staring at something on the table, you can remind them by using the cue, leave it. Because Tug was doing so well, I'm going to make the criteria harder. It's not just an apple core and some chicken on the table now, it's hot dogs, which he loves. I like to have the food hang off the edge of the table, especially for short dogs and tall counters, so they can actually see the concept that because it's on the table, you can't have it. Here, Tug is literally inches from the hot dogs. The reason you don't want to say no or when the dog goes for the food is they can learn that they still want the food, but it's your presence that is preventing them from getting to it. By clicking and reinforcing the dog for choosing on their own not to go for the food, you're building that behavior in the dog as a natural behavior, rather than you being in the room suppresses them from doing what they want to do. This exercise is all about proofing. So you need to proof with different kinds of foods, on different surfaces, different counters, different parts of the counter, to really generalize in the dog's head that any food on that counter is not a good idea to get it. Here you can see footage of my puppy just sniffing around in the living room after the exercise is over and not thinking to go and grab at that hot dog.
Good boy. You're so smart.
Here are some tips. 1. Make sure the dog never gets the food. It sounds obvious, but some dogs are very fast. 2. If he is struggling to look away from the food, either give him a hint by making an attention noise or taking some steps away so he's not as close to the food. 3. As he succeeds, raise criteria. 4. You can start off first with a carrot on the table, but the reinforcer is something even better like chicken. 5. Watch my Leave It video for more information on teaching the Leave It.